Hello and welcome back, guys. So in this particular session, what we'll be doing is we will be continuing with our C practice, right? So what is the palindrome, right? We will need to find the reverse, right? We will need to call find reverse, of course. Mm, this should return some value for us, right? Right. So this should be what thing will be int. Let's say. mm, Okay, inside call the with an argument inside this we find the reverse. Okay, return the reverse number to the caller. Right, so let's just do reverse num equals to, right, something like that, and we need to check condition else. Right, we will need to do something like that, and then we need to check if this number is equals the number, then we do something, right, and inside over here we do printf. And inside here we say it's a palindrome number, right? Palindrome number like this, and then mm, we do something like this, copy it, and we simply copy this much and not a palindrome number, right? That's what we need to return. That's not a big deal, but the main logic part comes over here, right? So we will need to run a while loop, right? So while what is that? While number. Alright, so we can simply compare directly with the number. Number is less than or equals to 0, right? While it is there, okay, while it is greater than thing, right? Then what do we need to do? Inside the loop, find the reverse of the number, right? So we need to use the logic, but you see, the only thing that I'm concerned about is 101 is there, right? So we can simply, no need to break it down as well. We can simply reverse the whole dang thing, right? And then, uh, but if we were to do something like, remainder, right? Okay, I got it. So remainder, right? So remainder will be equals to, it will be number modulo 10, right? That is one thing. Another thing is we need to do reverse or reverse equals to whatever the remainder came out to be, right? So that will be, we got the last digit, right? We got the last digit reversed, multiplied by 10 plus last digit, right? Which will be remainder. Copy this thing, paste it over here. Let's just check the logic as well, a little bit later. I'll just change this number first of all. So number will be equals to number uh, divided by 10, right? So in the beginning it will be 1001 will be coming over here, and it will be what, 100, I guess, right? 100 will come, and then next one it'll be 100 will come, so 100 divided by 10 will be again 10, right? So that's how it will work. That's fine. But what about the reversed, right? So reversed, it will be 0, initially, right, initially it might be 0, and then what are we doing? So let's suppose we've got a number 123, right? So 123 is there, so reverse will be 3 to 1, right? In order to achieve this, what we need to do is we need to do uh, at the beginning it will be 3 will be there, right? In the beginning it will be 3. In the next loop, how much will that be? uh, it will be 120 modulo thing will be how much? 120 modulo that will be 12, right? 12, isn't it? Remainder, because what we will be doing is basically, let's see right over here, 10, right? 123, and then what happens? We do this will be 12 in the beginning itself, right? So this will be 120, right? Hence the remainder will be 3, right? So remainder is 3 in the beginning. In the next iteration, what will happen? What will be the main number now? It will be 12, right? Because we are basically changing it, right? It will be 1 and it will be 10, then the remainder will be 2, right? It will move something like this. So we will have 3 in the beginning. So what we will be doing is 0 into 10 plus 3. Let's assume that reverse number, right? And in the next one, what will happen? The reverse number is already there. So it's 30 plus 2, right? That will be 32, right? In the next iteration, it will be 32. And again, in the last iteration, it will be 320, right? Because the digits is increasing in it as well. So 320 plus 1, right? That's how it will work basically. And then it'll be 320. I mean 321. Okay, that's how we reverse it. Okay, great. The logic works, right? Because we are multiplying by 10 only and then adding the remainder. Why is that? Because in the first iteration, it will be a single digit number. In the second iteration, it will be what? It will be the remainder value, right? So it will be in tens value that we take it to, and then we put it into hundreds value, right? And perhaps this should be 0 as well. Let's check the code. Hopefully it works, unless we made a big blunder. Right, what happened to the thing? Compiler, it's not even compiling, not even saying anything. Too long infinite loop, okay. Why did that happen? Nowhere is there, nowhere is still greater than thing. Okay, what happened? Let me figure it out. So in the first iteration, it will be, let's say, 1001, right? Let's do that. 1001. This will be what? This will be how much? 100. Yeah, that will give us 1000, right? A remainder will be 1, and then we have 10 and then 100, right? And this will give us what? 10 again, it will be 100, right? It will be 0, right? The number is 10 now, 10, and then 100. Of course it will be, I mean, it'll be 10, it'll be 1, of course it will be 10, this will be 0. Right, so 10 and then 1, this will be 0, this will be 0, this would be 0. I mean, it'll be 1, sorry, right? So that's how we get the number. That's fine, but we messed up something, I guess. While number is greater than 0. Just need to do that only, right? Equals to 0, will keep on running. Oh, of course, I need to comment this thing out. Right, let's check the code. Hey, works, right? What happened was equals to 0 is not the thing, right? Because of course we don't want it to be looping when it is 0, right? We want to break out of the loop, that's why. Okay, so this is an interesting one, right? So it's just how we take out of the reverse thing, we are just filling it back in. Okay, just reconstructing the number basically. Okay, let's submit the code. We need to calculate a simple interest, not a big deal for us, right? We need to define the function which takes in 3 different parameters, right? You see the difference over here, it's parameters, over here it's arguments. When you're calling it, it is always called argument. So function should return double, and then inside the function we have all these things, right? So I think we can simply do copy and paste. I'm not sure if this syntax is correct. I'm not so sure though. All right, so we simply do return, right? Simple interest is basically just that, right? So we can simply do that directly, right? And then we simply call the function, right? And we can simply pass in all these values. And I missed something over here, the semicolon, and I need to put this thing inside the bracket, and interest is printed. We take in the value, right? So that's what we need to print out, I guess, just the interest bit. Okay, so 3 parameters, return out to 2 decimal places. Okay, I'm not sure about that bit, but let's see. First of all, let's get our syntax right. Okay, maybe we need to have like what, double and double over here as well. Great, works, yes. Right, we just need to define the data type, right? Okay, we need to compute the area, not a big deal for us. Somewhat similar, again, double, 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 double. Right, we simply pass in that, we copy this thing, let's copy it, let's paste it somewhere here, let's define the function definition, double, right, and then inside it we need to do double over here as well. It's a double, right, that we're taking. Double, we simply do a return directly, right? That's it. That's pretty much it, right? Because we are simply returning it. Okay, just a semicolon. Easy problem, right? Okay, GCD, right? GCD. So find greatest common divisor, right? Divisor. Wait, x and y, right? So what do we need? We need an int. Let's just do the function definition first of all. Int find GCD int x comma int y, right? And inside it we need to write the logic for it, right? Okay, so 89 and then 153. So inside the function create a variable GCD. Okay, int variable GCD equals to 1, run a loop, okay, for I in I equals to 1, and it should be I is less than equals to x, and y is less than equals to y, right? Let's not do this x. I just find number 2 to be a suitable number, right? Because it's more better. So okay, that's done, and then of course I will increment I, right? So this is our basic signature of it, right? Then so if I, right, if I is perfectly divisible by number 1 equals, right? So we need to find GCD for both of them. Of course it has to be divided by both of them, right? And mm, GCD GCD, I mean not GCD, but the same thing, copy this thing, it should be number 2, right? And then inside the loop we set the GCD value to be I. It should be I basically, right? And then uh, return GCD, right? Hopefully it works. Okay, our output was this. Why is it not 9? That's my concern. I is perfectly divisible by that. We've got the D, right? It looks like it's doing something else, right? 81 and 153, right? So it will loop from, it'll start from 1, it should go up to 9, and it should return directly from there, right? So let's just see, print percentage D and I, right? Let's just check the code. Alright, 9, 10. Why are you going all the way, buddy? Why are you going all the way? That's my concern, right? Let me just grab the calculator app. Let me just test out something. Where's the calculator app gone? Where did you go? Okay, fine, I don't need you. 153 divided by 9. What happened to my internet? Is it because of that? Seems like my internet is gone. Calculator. Okay, it's there. Right, 153 divided by 9. 17, right? 17. Uh, uh, 17. Okay, but still the remainder is there, right? Hmm, I'm just not sure why is it not going inside over there. 1 less than equals to number 1, number 2, right? So if it divides both number 1 and number 2, right? Let's just see this. Let's just execute the code. Okay, it's not even going inside there, right? So it's just a gibberish kind of value. That's what is coming out of it. The X and Y bit is fine. All right, just these value over here. Why is it not going over there? It will be 2 in the next iteration, right? Then he'll move on all the way to 9. I got it. I understood it. It should be number 1 divide by I, right? Not the other way around. It should be divided by, both the numbers should be divided by I, not I is divided by thing, right? It should work. What the hell? What the hell? What is this? Okay, it's just returning 1, huh? It's not returning I. But 1 will basically divide both of them, right? I don't think this is the correct solution over here. I think that's what they meant, right? So we need to have the return outside because of course we don't want it. We want it to check for the greatest divisor. It has to be outside, man. Right. Yep. There we go. We solved it. Okay, LCM. Okay, find LCM is somewhat similar. Right, we can perhaps just copy it. I mean, just bring it here. Control V, find LCM. Right, and then find LCM, X comma Y. Right, let's go into the mean stuff inside the loop. Set LCM equals to highest number among the thing. Okay. So with parameter is there, right? So we need to do if, right? So let's do int LCM, right? And if number 1 is greater than number 2, we provide LCM equals to number 1. Else, what do we do? LCM equals to number 2. Number 2, right? Okay, that's done. And then run an infinite while loop, increase the value of LCM by 1 in each iteration. Okay, we get rid of this while, right? While okay, we simply do while true or while 1, right? And LCM is perfectly divisible, right? Thing. Okay, not a big deal. So if LCM perfectly divisible by number 1 equals 0, copy it, right? And we need to add a condition, and similarly we need to do number 2 over here, right? It is perfectly divisible by number 2 and number 1. Right, and then what do we need to do inside there? Inside there, let's do this bit as well. Plus equals to 1. We need to increase that as well, right? That thing is done. And next is inside the loop. We know it's there, right? So it's true. We stop it, and outside the loop we return the LCM, right? Yeah, because it's already increasing, right? So we simply break. We don't need to assign it. Basically we are just doing +1 in it, right? So 72 and 120, it's what, it's 120 will be the LCM, and then it just keeps on adding it up, and then it goes after 240 iteration. It basically gets its, I made a mistake. GCD is not defined, right? LCM. That's it. Yay, it works just fine, right? Okay, that works. Now we are going into strings. Strings, number of characters in a string, get input string. Okay, not a big deal. I think f gets uh, f gets how do we use f gets in C. I'm just not sure about the parameter that it takes. Okay, blah blah blah. Just don't tell me. All right. There will be buffer overflow. I know that it's not a good choice, but f gets buffer and then int. Standard in, right? So we will need to define that. And how many characters do we want it to be? 100, right? So let's just do text comma 100 string from standard input. String input for the variable this, right? And then count is there, while condition, right? So while condition will be there, and then while first character of the text, right? So text, and then 0 is not equals to 0, something like this, right? I just find this thing a little bit confusing, but it's fine. Printf, right? Printf, and then we simply print the count percentage d, right? So we just need to find the length of it basically. All right, so while that is not equals to thing, right? So we could have done the same thing. Right, so syntax over here, I did not have to search it, and then inside the loop we just need to count the increase the count, right? So count plus equals to 1, right? But we need to check for something else, right? Run a while loop over each character, right, of the string. Okay, that will be done, but other thing is we will need to change the string as well, nah? Because if we were to run this loop, right, so we have to change like text 0 to be replacing or something like that, right? Otherwise it'll just be an infinite loop. Right, that's what it will be. Insert the while loop, iterate over each character of the string, increase the value count of yeah, that's it. It's become infinite loop, right? Because text 0 is not thing. Maybe count will be 0. Next count will be 1, right? Let's check. Yay, works, right? I do have a little bit of programming brain in my thing, huh? So while the count of it, so we are increasing it basically, right? So that's why I just did a educated guess, let's just say that. Okay, what do they want? Find length. To find the longest string among two. Okay, so we need to do that, and we need to do compare, right? So if let's just define the main function first of all. If something, right, and then else, what we need to do, Fibonacci palindrome, and we need to get the whole thing. We need to print the thing. We get find the length, right? So text will be there. So I guess. So find the length of two string, right, by calling them. So we will need to find it separately, in my opinion, right? So it's somewhat similar, right? Length. Uh, let's just do text one length. Len equals to something, and then we do something like that for text two as well. Two, right, and then we need to compare both of them. Right, so if text2 is greater than this number, we do print f, and I'm just not sure how we do in place replacement in C. Not quite sure about that, right? But we want it to be text1, whatever the input is, right? Mm, does that work? Percentage s and then string text1. Right, so let me try it. I'm not sure like if this is the correct way or not. Right, of course, trying does not hurt. Text2, that's done, and we need to call the function find length. Okay, I hope so that function does not take in two different things. Okay, we need to call the function individually. Right, and we need to pass in text1 over there. We need to pass in text2 over there. Great, now we need to come into the main loop, right? So thing while text, this is the condition that they want us to use, right? This one, copy it, right, paste it over there, right? Because while the count is not equals to at the end of the line, we still want to continue it. Okay, and we simply do count plus equals to like earlier, right? And that's it, right? And then when it basically breaks, we simply return the count of it and we compare basically over here. Let's see. Okay, what happened? Okay, did I make any mistake? Find length, blah blah blah. Output is what? Don't need a code explanation. Output is what? Character, blah 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 blah. This. Okay. Scan F. What happened over there? Get two string. Okay. Ah, undeclared. Nah, undeclared. What will that return? It will return int, right? This will also return int. Yeah, it will return int. Great, I did it. Okay, now I know that it's just this thing, right? In place character kind of thing. Like we do it in Python, kind of similar sort of thing. Okay, let's move on. What's this? Frequency of character. We just need to compare it. We might have an array or something like that, I guess. So this is it. We need to check for m in it. Okay, we got string len from the string str. What is this? This is the string that we get in from the user. Huh? Okay, so this is easy then. While int I equals to 0 and while I is less than the length, let's just increment the count and then we compare both of them. Right, so if this thing, right, so we need to compare each character, right? So since we've got a text or string, something like that, Okay, str, and to access it we can simply do I equals what's the character. Okay, we compare that and we simply do count plus equals to 1. Right, that's it. Let's do check code. Yeah, it works, right? So basically in a Python kind of thing, when we do enumerate, not enumerate, but when you get the length of string and then we basically access the variable, it's very much similar, right? Okay, joining to string. Okay, you can join to string using string cat, add a space between them. Join text one with string this and then only join this. Okay, so let's do str cat, right, text one. I think it'll take a thing. How many? I'm not sure what's the parameter of it. Text two, I mean the argument, right? We don't call that a parameter when we are calling it. And printf will be string cat should return some kind of character, right? So that will have to have a space of 200, I guess. Right. Let me just figure that out. Str cat in C, right? Oh, what's happening to my internet? Maybe it's just the cache or something. Str cat in C. Still saying it's the internet issue or something. But how is this thing running and that thing is saying internet issue? It's weird. Let's just get Chrome. Okay, str cat in C. No internet. Oh my god. But this thing is running, right? Let me just see. Let me just try to fix the internet. Okay, well, that is working, right? Let me see other way to figure it out. Now it's working, I guess. All right, let's try this. Okay, it's working great. So str cat in C. Okay, destination and then source. Okay. It returns pointer to the destination string. Okay, how do they do that? Copy it. This is a temporary variable which stores it, right? Okay. To the end of the first one. Okay, great. I just need a temporary variable and then do that. Right. Let's just do character text something. Right. C. This means combined. And it should be something like this. C, comma, text one. Right. We copy it, paste it, again paste it. Where is that? I want. I'm not sure if this is the correct way of doing it, but this is how and percentage s over here. We want the string and c. Right, let's check the code. Yay, works. But I just wanted to see if this is the correct way or not. Uh, okay, yeah, that's fine. We know how to do it, right? Multiple ways of doing it. Can improve. Okay, f gets is basically what f gets when taken the variable, then the buffer size of text, right, until 150 is the buffer, and std in, right? It's called std in. Yeah, that's what it should be, right? And what do we need to do? We need to check number of vowels in a string. Okay, a e I o u is a vowel, lowercase or smaller case, and run a loop. What is that? Okay, just increase the vowel count, right? So not a big deal. In logic is only a small tiny thing, yeah, right? So vowels, right? If something, and see, this will basically increase the vowels count plus equals to 1, right? And this will be, we are increasing I as well, and then we are just looping until it's over, right? The text is over, and we need to check I equals a e I o u kind of thing, right? So right, it has to be or. Right, so that's how it will be. I'll just try to grab all those things, like what kind of vowels should I need to figure out, right? Yeah, I'll just grab this. Okay, and I don't need to do a lot of this thing, right? So it's just going to be, yeah, so basically we simply compare it's this or not this or that, right? So check code should work, but is there another better way? Comparison like Python in C. What that requires string thing. Okay, this is the core way, like one way of doing it, right? Otherwise, if we want to do any kind of shortcut in this, we will need to use the library. Okay, that's not what we want to do. Now we want to move into arrays, right? So yeah, let's just get this thing done. Create another array with same size. Okay, int arr1 size of, right? Okay, array is created. Run a loop. Okay, store them in the second array. Then we give out the array, right? Okay, do we even need to store it? Okay, maybe that's the requirement of it, right? Let's do for int I equals to 0, right? R array dot length exists, right? I'm not sure if this is a native function or not. Right. Let's see. Okay, so to do this, right, we will need to find the size or length of that array, right? And why not? So size of will give us what? Will that be uh, 5, right? That's what we know. Maybe we could even do size of array, it could be 4 into 5, that's what I don't want. That's what I'm not expecting it to be. Right. Perhaps we might get that. So that's my only doubt in this thing. Let me just check this thing quickly. Don't need this bit over here. Let's just check the code. Let's see how much we will get. Blah blah blah. Gibberish value, right? Oh, I forgot to do this size of control Z copy. That's what I want to do. Check code. Okay, it'll be 20, so 4 5, right? So of course, so what we can do perhaps is basically just divide it, right? So what I can do is basically this divide by this, but size of 0, right? So that will give us the individual size of that array, right? Somewhat. Okay, let me just grab the whole thing, put it over there, right? So that we know it's going to be same thing. And then we can simply do I equals to, of course, it'll be array 1, right? And then just do this 10, right? Then of course I will need do the looping thing again. This, and then simply do print f, right? Percentage b 1 and I. Let's just do this. I. Okay, let's run it. Okay, what happened over here? We need to do slash n as well. What happened? Looks like a lot of gibberish value, huh? Let's see. Mm. After this has completed, print f, right? Percentage b ar1, and let's just see the first value. That should be something, right? So let's do slash n and then something like hyphen kind of thing. Okay. Okay, that seems like it's going to be, looks like it's a gibberish value. Okay, we did it like that. Now we have to do array1 array I into thing, because it's not instantiated kind of thing, right, in the beginning. So it has to be like this. Check code. So it has to be 10. Okay, great. So that's what will work. All right, let's do check code. Works fine. Okay, moving on. Mean heights of players. Okay, we need to find the mean height. All right. So we get in the heights. So create a double array named heights. Okay, input from the user. Right, we will need to have a thing. For loop. Right, because we need to get the input for int I equals to 0, and then it has to be size of heights divided by similar thing, right? Heights, and then it has to be 0, then it has to be I plus plus, right? And we need to do scanf, I guess. Scanf. Right, and then it should be what, double? Double was LF. Right, and it should be heights, and that should be I. Got in the inputs. Now we simply get all the thing, right? Sum, right? So mean will be basically sum divide by this thing, I guess, right? Right, size, because this will be the array size and the sum. So for I in, for I, why am I writing Python syntax? Same thing, right? It's going to be similar thing. Copy it, paste it over there, and sum will be plus equals to heights I, right? So we just access the value, and then we basically sum it up. Let's check. Okay, what happened over there? Yes, memory address. It's to check code. What happened? It's taking so long. Hmm. Why am I even doing this? I is less than, right? That's what I'm missing. I is less than. That's all I'm missing. Yay, works just fine, right? Because of course we need to loop until We know like how many values are there, right? Let's submit the code. Let's compute standard deviation, right? So sum of all the arrays. Okay, inside over here we need to get input array, right? So for that, what we can do is, let's copy this. Let's go over here. Over here I need to get the input, right? So we simply do that. Let's just replace this. Let's just replace this. Let's just replace this. Now I have scanned it, right? Then I simply call the function, and we simply pass this as an argument, the array as an argument, right? So that will be a double, the array type, right? There is a sum over there. We need to return standard deviation. Okay, we do return st. Okay, where is st? Find the sum of all the array elements. Okay, not a big deal. Right, in order to find that, okay, shit, I messed up. It will clear everything, right? Should not have done that, man. In pursuit of shortcuts, I made a big mistake. I just wanted to check one thing though. Previous lesson, why can't I copy this thing? Copy. Next lesson, I want to paste it here so that I can save some time. Check code. Right, I think when I do check code and then when I go back, then go over there, it does not get lost. Okay, great. Okay, we found reset, right? This is where I want it to be, not above, right? So copy this, paste it, paste it, right? Grab this number array. How many more are left? Still three, huh? Okay, now I need to compute sum of all the array. Alright, so it's just going to be pretty much same thing. Right, let's just copy this thing. Need to find the sum inside this, like, right? So this will be plus I mean not I, but data I, right? And this will be data over here. This will be data, right? And we've got the sum. We need to compute the mean of it. So mean will be okay. That is also not a big deal. Could be double, right? And then it will be double, and mean equals to sum divided by this thing, the size of the whole thing. Right, let's just keep this thing inside parentheses. So mean is there. Now we need to compute, find the difference of each value and compute the square of each differences, right? For that, what I can do is compute the square of each difference, right? That's going to give us the standard variable, right? Let's see over here. We've called it, right? We want it in 3 digits. Okay, that's great. Right, we know the size is this thing. Right, until there is done, mean is there. Right, result is 0. Of course, again, we need to have a for loop. So let's just copy this thing, paste it somewhere here. All right, we will need to do that thing is there, right? So result is there. We need to add all the differences. Okay, so in that situation, what we need to do? Result, right? Result will be, so we need to do a square of the each difference, right? So result plus equals to will be data I minus mean, right? And that's there. So this is like the difference. Let's just do one thing. Let's just declare a variable now, difference, so that we don't use the same thing. Right now we do result plus equals to difference times difference, right? So that's giving us the difference. Now what do we need to do? Above result by 5. Okay, so we need to create a double for variance. All right, that will be a result. Copy this thing, result, divide by 5. And we are just assuming it to be 5 always, right? And then SD will be compute the, so we have not declared it, right? Double, and then SD will be what? Square root of each variance. So is there a math? Okay, math is there. Right, SQRT, and we need to copy it, paste it here, right? We need to return SD. In this case, return SD. Right, okay. All these things are shown. It's just hard coding this 5. Good way would be to use this thing, right? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? I need to see this thing. This thing is okay. Let's just see. Print f, right? Percentage d, I mean lf slash n hyphen hyphen, and then this check code. Okay, it's a gibberish number, right? It's a gibberish number. Looks like it. It looks like a gibberish kind of number. So, sure. We have percentage d, right? And then what will be the size? I'm just wondering about this one. Okay, so let's check code. First of all, it's 10. Why is that 10? Why is that 10? Because we are only getting, I mean, 5 of them, right? Why is that 10? It's scanf with got what this will be 10 as well because of printf, right? Percentage left, I guess. Let's just do that. Let's comment out this one. Right, let's check the code. 0 point blah blah blah. Why is that? It could be in D, because it's 50, right? It should not have been 50. Okay, maybe it's coming from there. Slash n. Just that I'm just trying to find out the size of the array. Okay, so that's 5. That's understandable. That's what I want. 5 is there. It'll loop until over there. 0 1 2 3 4 5 0 1 2 3 4. That's fine. It's scanned everything. It's put in inside. Okay. Did I? Okay, it's basically putting it inside the array, right? That's already been done. That's fine. Right. That's fine. Why is the comment not working now? Okay. And then now when I go inside this thing, right, inside the loop, of course, we are passing the data. And why is it not working over here? Right. Because what is the data thing? Number array, right? We are simply passing that. Why are we passing this? Oh my god. We made such a silly mistake, huh? Just that. I was passing the function. It's what the hell? Okay. Okay. Why not uncomment this? Right, let's check the code. Okay, 10. I'm just not sure about that. I just want it to be 5, man. Ah, I could have just passed in size, but I'm just going to use 5. Can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. Check code. 5 was there. Alright, still then, what happened? Why did we get so large number? Why did we get so large number? That's my question. Why did we get so large number? Okay. Let's just hardcode this thing as well. Or just getting a size kind of thing, right? So that we just make it a little bit more easier for us. Size, huh? We simply want this thing to be always there, right? So that will be a int data type for us. Size, right? And this will be size as well. Let's just pass in size. For the size, what we can do is let's just do this copy. Right, int size equals to this value, right? And then let's just use size everywhere, just refactoring it. Right, okay, works just fine, right? It's just a size thing. Let's messing it up. Okay, even numbers from array. Okay, so if it is perfectly divisible, then what is this? If through variable to track position, okay, we have even number 10, and then afterwards we need to run a loop. Okay, that's us counting it, right? Check if the ith element is even or not, right? So if I modulo 2 equals 0, we do uh, even number, right? And then even number and j equals to I, right? And then we need to do j plus plus, right? Because we need to increase it as well. Right. Next thing is, of course, we need to do z mean int I equals 0, then we need to loop until I is less than z, right? So in that situation, let's say we've got two of them, so it's going to be index on 0, so I mean one index, so that should work. Plus plus print f percentage e, I guess, right? It could be, it's always int, right? Int India. So this will be even number, this thing, even number, and it will be ith value on that, right? Let's check the code. Okay, semicolon. Let's see. Okay, 0, blah, blah, blah. 2468. Slash n. Of course, it should start from 1, I guess. I mean, 0. Alright, and the loop will have to be. So since we will be getting in what XP input is already there, right? So it's thing, right? It will be less than equals to z. Let's just do that. What is that? So there is no value in that. So 10 is not there. Isn't equals to, right? Okay, 10 is there. We simply do less than z. It should work. Okay, 0 should not be there. But 0 is okay. Works. Right, we're just accessing the element anyway. Next thing is smallest array element. Okay, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Right, we first assign it to numbers 0, right, and then we simply check. Right, so input value for the array that will be printf percentage d smallest, right? So this is simple thing, int I equals to 1, and then I is less than 5, and then we do I plus plus, right? And inside there, smallest is less than I, greater than I. Right, so we can simply assign it. So if it is greater than that, right, we can say smallest equals to I. I mean, yeah. So if it is greater than I, then we simply assign it. Otherwise, we just leave it, right? Of course, we need to get the input as well. So for I int I equals to 0 up to what? I less than size, of course, I plus plus scanf percentage d and numbers of I, right, and int size equals to size of numbers, and this will be 0. There will be a semicolon at the end, semicolon at the end. Mistake somewhere, maybe perhaps number is declared here. What the hell? What do you mean? What do you mean? Ah, numbers. Yes, right. Okay, output was 1. Why is that? Uh, let's see. So 13 was there, right? So our smallest is 13 in this case, right? So 13 is greater than that, right? So it will be I, okay. And 23, check if smallest is less than I. Right, okay, if it is smaller, then we don't need to do anything, right? Otherwise, we need to assign it. Basically, my logic was okay, in my opinion. Right, so when it came over here, it became 2 and all. Right, we need to loop over that now. That's why. Got it. Numbers, not I, in the array. Right, we need to compare it with the array. I mean, it should be same thing. Copy this thing and paste it here. Right, check code. Works. Right, this is the last one. Okay, find the percentage. So find the percentage marks of students. All these things. Sum it up, percentage, blah blah. Right. So get the input for obtained marks. So that will of course be same logic. Marks, right? We got the input. Now what? To just sum it up. Copy this thing, copy it. And then to that, total marks is that, obtained marks is plus equals to marks I, right? That's what we need to do. Okay, it's added, and then that thing is basically this divide by our total marks, right? And then multiplied by 100 as well. Let's check the code. Should work in my opinion. Okay, what happened? Blah, blah, blah. Right, mark 0, size is there. We've done the scanf, I guess. Total marks was there. Right, let's just see somewhere here. And F, the right percent is D or LF. And this thing will be what? This thing will be marks 0. Let's just see that for a while. 0. What is the size? I want to see this as well. Copy that, paste it. Percentage D, what's the size? 80. 80. Or maybe not. Or maybe not. Slash N. Let's see, it should be 8. In my opinion, yeah, it's 8. Right, and then it's just going to scan everything. Okay, that's fine. All right, that's exact. Okay. Uh, we know the size is not the problem. Scanf is not the problem, I guess. Right. What about this? It will be perhaps D slash N hyphen something like that. Right, that will be a int kind of character, but why is that 0? That's my concern. And there end, okay, that is end. Just not sure what's going on. That's 8. Okay, that's looping over 8 times. Okay. Since we are doing it for double, let's do LF. Alright, and this should be LF as well. Because we are saying it's a data type of LF kind of thing, right? And now it should work. Tiny mistake. Right, that's what happens sometimes. Let's see. Works just fine, right? Now we've completed it. Okay, continue. Okay, that's it for this particular video. Right, so it took more than expected time. Thank you for sticking around. All right, take care until next time. Bye bye.